In this video, I'm going to show you how to write a Band 9 opinion essay for IELTS Writing Task 2. You will learn how to structure your essay, how to use advanced grammar and vocabulary, and more tips and tricks to improve your band score. If you're going to take your IELTS soon, check out my IELTS materials. There, I teach you everything you need to score high. I show you step by step how to give high scoring answers, and of course we do many practice tests together so you will feel confident for your test. You can find the link in the description below. And now let's get started. Let's look at the question. First, there is a statement. A 4-day work week would improve both productivity and quality of life. Then there is the following question. What is your opinion? After that, all IELTS Writing Task 2 question prompts are the same. You have to give reasons, including relevant examples that you know about, and you have to write more than 250 words. It's important to remember that no opinion is right or wrong. The IELTS examiner will evaluate your essay based on how well you answer the question. Before you start writing, take a few notes. This makes sure that your essay is well structured, which is great for improving your band score. My notes look like this. Employees are more inclined to focus, make the most of their time, burnout less likely, more time to rest, not suitable for all jobs. I found that I generally agree with the statement, but I want to make the point that a 4-day work week isn't going to be practical in all industries. Now we have planned our ideas and made sure our opinion is clear. It's time to write. I use a template because it helps me to follow a structure and make my ideas clear. Templates are great because they help you write a high-scoring answer. They give you sentence starters which include great vocabulary and organize your answer. This helps you get a better band score. When writing your answer, you simply write down the sentence starter and then you finish the sentence with ideas of your own that fit the topic you were given. To get all the templates you need, click on the link below and check out my IELTS materials. You can find templates for all IELTS writing tasks there. So for all charts in task 1, such as pie charts, line graphs, diagrams, and so on, and all questions in task 2. For example, agree-disagree questions, advantage-disadvantage questions, and much more. First things first, the introduction. The first sentence of the introduction will tell the IELTS examiner what your essay will be about. This sentence is also known as the background statement. An important thing to do here is paraphrase the original statement. This allows the examiner to see you have a wide range of vocabulary and you are not just copying words from the question. More and more global companies are opting for a 4-day work week due to the supposed benefits to productivity and quality of life. As you can see here, it's not always going to be possible to paraphrase every word. In fact, the main words 4-day work week, productivity, and quality of life haven't been paraphrased in my background statement. What I have done, however, is paraphrase improve productivity and quality of life to the supposed benefits to productivity and quality of life. I've also added the information more and more companies are opting for this working policy. You can make such statements in the introduction, even if they may not be true. The IELTS examiner doesn't fact-check these things, so it's okay to invent a few details for the sake of the essay. Next, I give my opinion. In my opinion, where possible, companies should continue to adopt this policy and leave the 5-day working week behind. I use the sentence starter in my opinion, which is from my template. That way, the IELTS examiner has no doubt about your opinion on the matter. Remember that the question does ask you to state your opinion, so this is very important here. Companies should continue to adopt this policy shows that I agree. But by adding the clause where possible, before I make my opinion clear, I am showing that I acknowledge that a shorter working week isn't always a possible option for companies. So I agree for the most part, but I confirm that there are exceptions. I also use an awesome collocation here in the phrase, leave the 5-day working week behind. When we leave something behind, we don't continue to do or use it. So here I am saying that companies should not continue to have a traditional 5-day work week. This kind of advanced vocabulary is great and will make your band score go up. We don't need anything else for the introduction. Now we can move on to the first body paragraph, but don't forget to indent. Good paragraph structure is essential, so try to remember details like this in the IELTS exam. The primary reason is that burnout is much less likely. The primary reason is another useful sentence starter from my template, and it introduces the idea well. I start with a general statement. In this case, I say that the reason for increased productivity is that burnout is much less likely. Burnout is a noun that refers to mental and physical exhaustion, often as a result of working too much. After making the statement, I go into more detail by giving an example. Don't forget that the question asks you to give examples and reasons, so it's really vital that you include this. For example, according to an in-house survey, the marketing company Good Sense, who changed to a shorter work week 2 years ago, has reported a reduction in sick leave, as well as fewer incidences of depression amongst employees. For example is a great way to show that you're about to provide an example. The example sentence is crammed full of fantastic advanced vocabulary and structures. First of all, I use the phrase according to introduce my source of information. This is a formal way of saying this person says or this company says. I also use the relative clause, who changed to a shorter work week 2 years ago, which is an advanced structure. These types of clauses are used to give additional information. Notice that the clause is surrounded by commas, separating it from the other parts of the sentence. Using advanced structures is great for your band score, but you also need to use correct punctuation with them too. Pay attention to these small details. Finally, this sentence features some great abstract nouns like reduction and incidences. Using these kinds of nouns instead of verbs is quite typical of an academic essay. It also shows that you have a good grasp of different suffixes, like gen and ens for word formation. These things collectively show the examiner that you have a good range of vocabulary, helping you to increase your band score. Let's move on to the conclusion of this paragraph. Consequently, it would be advisable for other companies to follow suit, as clear examples of improved quality of life as a result of the 4-day workweek have been documented. Consequently introduces a result and makes it clear that you are summarizing the paragraph. This sentence also demonstrates some excellent advanced language. First of all, we have the idiom to follow suit, which means to do what someone else does. So here I'm expressing that I think it's a good idea for other companies to copy what some companies are already doing by implementing the 4-day workweek. I also use an advanced example of the passive voice in the sentence, clear examples of improved quality of life as a result of the 4-day workweek have been documented. It's great to use passive, as it shows that you have a good knowledge of grammar. Here you can see the present perfect passive, have been documented. By the way, if you want more IELTS writing sample answers, hit the like button and write yes in the comments. If you want something else, tell me your video wish in the comments so I know what you would like to see on this channel. Now we can go on to the next point. Don't forget to indent. An additional reason for my stance is that fitting the same number of weekly hours into just 4 days may lead to increased focus at work. What a great topic sentence. Writing it was pretty easy though, thanks to my template, where I found the sentence starter. An additional reason for my stance is. Stance is a useful noun that can be used in other parts of the essay too. It's a synonym of opinion. So because I had a great sentence starter already, I just needed to add the reason. That fitting the same number of weekly hours into just 4 days may lead to increased focus at work. We will structure this paragraph identically to the previous one. First, we will make the general statement, which we have just looked at. Then we will give detail by providing an example. Finally, we will conclude the paragraph. This way, employees may make an attempt to make the most of their time, as they spend fewer days in the workplace and may work harder and with fewer distractions to complete tasks in time. My example is that employees can work with fewer distractions to complete tasks in time. I used a technique called elision in this sentence. This is where I remove a word or words in the sentence, often subjects and verbs. Look at this part of the sentence, and may work harder and with fewer distractions. Instead of writing, and may work harder and may work with fewer distractions, I have been able to remove the second may work. This would be repetitive and unnecessary here, as I have already written it and it's part of the same phrase, so I don't need to write it again. Doing this can help to increase your band score, as it makes your writing more cohesive. This just means that your ideas are better connected and flow nicely. There are also some awesome collocations with the verb make. The first is make an attempt, meaning to try, and the second is make the most of, which means to use to the best advantage. Knowledge of collocations can really boost your score in the lexical resource area. This is an area that the examiners give marks for when grading your writing. It refers to the level of the vocabulary you use and how varied it is. We are done with the details, so let's write the concluding sentence for this paragraph. Accordingly, staff are more productive and may even get a greater sense of job satisfaction and accomplishment. I sum up the main idea of the paragraph. Staff are more productive, and I use a linking word from my template, accordingly, to introduce this. It's possible for me to stop here and move on to the conclusion, but I want to add one more paragraph to demonstrate how you can make a more complex opinion essay. I am mentioning an idea that, despite my agreement for the most part, shows that I have considered other arguments. Remember to indent the first line of a new paragraph. While I agree that 4-day work weeks are a good idea, I hold that they may not be suitable for all companies or industries. This is a great way to show a contrast, because it shows you agree, but that there is another idea to consider. The structure is, while I agree that, I hold that. You may be thinking that this sentence is too complicated for you, but don't worry. This structure is a sentence starter from my template that you can easily use in your essay. All you need to do is add the part you agree with. In this case, it's 4-day work weeks are a good idea. And then you add the other viewpoint or consideration. Here this is, they may not be suitable for all companies or industries. Like the other body paragraphs, this topic sentence is followed by an example. I previously used for example, so I will change the linking phrase to an example of that would be. An example of that would be in the healthcare field, where employees often work around the clock and don't have the luxury of a standard working week. This example sentence shows off some really great structures and vocabulary. For example, I've paraphrased by using the synonyms field and industry. I have also used some interesting fixed phrases and collocations like work around the clock and have the luxury of. If someone works around the clock, they work often for prolonged periods. And if we describe something as a luxury, we consider ourselves to be lucky or privileged to have it. It's something not everyone has. Now we will end with a concluding sentence to the paragraph. If everyone worked a 4-day work week, regardless of industry, many systems would not be able to function effectively. This is excellent because it's a good example of the second conditional. The second conditional talks about a hypothetical possibility in the present or future. So we are imagining the result of something that might happen. In this case, we are imagining a world where everyone works a 4-day work week. Conditional structures are fantastic in IELTS Writing Task 2 essays because they show the examiner that you know advanced grammar. Just be careful with the verb tenses in conditionals and make sure you use the correct ones. In this second conditional, we need the past simple in the if clause. For example, if everyone worked a 4-day work week, and would plus the base form of the verb in the main clause, many systems would not be able to function effectively. So I've now demonstrated that I think a 4-day working week does increase productivity and helps improve quality of life. But I have also given a concession, detailing why it might not always be the case. We finish off with a conclusion. It doesn't have to be long, but it does need to be a separate paragraph. So start by indenting the line and stating the problem again. In conclusion, many people claim that a shorter working week allows staff to be more productive and have an improved lifestyle. In conclusion clearly shows that you are ending the essay. I continue paraphrasing until the very end. Notice that here I write be more productive instead of the noun productivity. I also write have an improved lifestyle instead of improves quality of life. If you continuously paraphrase, you show the examiner that you know lots of words, and this will increase your band score. I also end with my opinion. That way, it's extremely clear that I have answered all parts of the question. While I strongly feel that this is true, I submit that due to the demands of different industries, it may not be a suitable practice in all cases. Now the writing is done, but there is still a few more things to do. Make sure you spend a few minutes proofreading your writing. I know the first thing you want to do is just relax because the exam is nearly over, but there is a lot of value in proofreading. It gives you the chance to increase your score by correcting mistakes. For example, making sure that sentences are capitalized with full stops at the end and commas in the right places. It is also a good idea to have a look for repetition of words, as then you can check if they can be substituted for other words, like pronouns or synonyms. You should also check that you have written enough words. This essay is 318 words, so well over 250. Now it's time to chill out. Your essay is done. Excellent job. That's it. That's how to write a Band 9 answer for an opinion essay in IELTS Writing Task 2. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell icon so you're notified when the next video comes out. Also, share this video with your friends so they can improve their IELTS score too. See you in the next video.